Midsommar, a movie written and directed by Ari Aster, the same director of Hereditary, one of my favorite horror movies of recent years. Here in Midsommar, we follow a group of people that travels to Sweden to pass a midsummer vacation with some sort of hippie community, where they live like them and get to know their traditions. Knowing how good Hereditary was and the approach Ari Aster has to a horror story, I was really excited about this movie. I went to the theater trying to be as much open-minded as I could be. As I left, I was speechless, trying to understand what the hell I just experienced. And I think I kinda know what it tries to showcase, which in my opinion, it's brilliant. By the way, this review will contain spoilers. In a few words, this is a sadistic film with a genius craft that goes beyond psychological horror. It makes you uncomfortable and uneasy in every single second of the runtime. The performances were really good, despite some characters being really annoying, especially Jack Reynor as Christian. I pretty much hated this guy. He plans this trip with his friends and eventually invites his girlfriend, portrayed by Florence Pugh, which I really liked her performance in the film. Such a good actress in terms of displaying emotions, although I thought that sometimes feels over the top. There's too much crying. I would prefer a more contained performance, but that's not something that bothered me. The story intrigues you. I'm a huge fan of a movie called The Sacrament. It's based on the Jonestown massacre. There are similar concepts between these two films. I love psychological horror, and isolated places really make me uneasy. And that's what I love about these movies. I'll say it right here. This movie, it's a 2.5 hour metaphor for an end of a relationship. Christian and Danny are the focus of this film in my opinion. Please correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of the movie, Danny becomes some sort of queen to this community, and they trap Christian in a cabin that eventually they set it on fire. He burns to death inside the cabin full of other people, and when the cabin finally collapses entirely, you see a strange change of emotion on Danny's face, with a smile that feels out of place. My theory is that the cabin is a metaphor depicting an attitude that a person must have after a breakup. The entire movie, these two seem to have issues, especially Christian, that seems to be really distant from Danny, and at that point, she being a queen represents the strength she must have because she finds out that he was persuaded to have sex with a woman from the community. And now the cabin symbolizes something where she puts every piece of memory from the relationship and pushes that away. The moment that the cabin collapses is basically the relief that now she can move on because she suspected that he was distant for a reason, which I wish the film explained why. That's why she smiles. It's like a feeling of freedom after being trapped in a state of mind of insecurity, especially after the awful events that this character suffered at the beginning of the movie. If this theory isn't accurate and you have other ones, let me know. That's the beauty of films like this one. You can always come up with weird different theories. Also, this film is full of symbolism surrounding a lot of cultural aspects, Nordic beliefs and other stuff that really got my attention. Anyway, in terms of cinematography, this film is beautiful. The camera work here is incredible. The views and the way shots are set up are really well done, especially with the color palette that really helps with how gorgeous this movie looks. The editing is also fantastic. The cuts between moments and the way creepy stuff are showcased, it's such a great work that I wish I could see in other horror movies. The sound design is eerie and really fits with the location and the tone. By the way, faces in the trees? Really? My body froze. Something that can make people mad about this one is that the film really drags. It isn't necessarily a bad thing, but after a while it really feels like a 2.5 hour movie. It isn't boring because you always feel the tension this scenario provides, but I wish that some scenes were better paced. But I really liked the movie, and I hope Ari Aster continues to direct and write horror movies. I become a really big fan and I'm devoted to search more about his work. I'll give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. That's it guys, let me know your thoughts on this one. If you like my content, subscribe for more reviews in the future. See you guys.